All right. I burned myself pretty bad today in the market, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to recap it. I'm going to show you guys what happened. So today should have been an excellent green day for me, and instead I blew it up and I burned it. And just to give you guys some context right here, so today I'm sitting down $995, which is a pretty big red day for me. Not the end of the world, but it's pretty significant. And today I mainly traded ANVS. This was a stock that really moved up today. And I want to talk about my mindset and kind of what happened and I guess how I ended up where I ended up today. And it's really frustrating, but this, I hope helps me and helps you guys in the future on risk management and a couple other things. But this was kind of the mentality today was, yesterday, let me go to my performance first. I want to show you guys something. So as you guys know, if you've been watching my prior recap videos, this month has been just slow. Now, the first week was great. There were a few days on the first week that were awesome. We had some good momentum there. I was on vacation at that point, so I wasn't completely focused, but I made a little bit of money that first week. After that, things slowed down dramatically and got pretty choppy, and I just realized that, hey, I'm gonna have to tone back, stay patient, stay disciplined, and with slow markets, you really can't trade as much when there's not the opportunity there. So, the second week was not great. Ended up being I had 2 nasty red days, and the other green days were just small, so down 785 that week. And then this week started off extremely slow. Everything was green. This should be red. Let me fix this real quick. Don't know why that's that. Let's see. I need to fix my conditional formatting. Anyways, yeah, last week it was down 785. This week, down 833. Despite all the progress I put on, well, I didn't put on that much progress. Yeah, I mean, Monday was $8, Tuesday was $6, Wednesday was 74, and Thursday was 74 too. And today I just burned it. So this was kind of the mentality here of this week. Was I was thinking yesterday we finally kind of had a little bit of a turnaround with U1. U1 was a stock that really blew up yesterday, and it had a really good run on it, and it was kind of steady all the way through. And from all the prior weeks, I was just very hesitant on my trading. So when this did pull through and shown that it did have some strength, I didn't trade it, till a little bit later, and I made a lot of mistakes on it. And especially this one after hours, I missed this huge move here. But anyways, I ended up green yesterday, so that was okay. And I just didn't perform super well on that one yesterday. So today on AVNS, this thing turned out to be the big mover. And I really wanted to capitalize on this today, but I don't think I made a very good shift in my head and on my performance where when things change in the market, you have to adapt very quickly. You have to be ready to jump into the opportunities. And I think I was very hesitant today, especially at first. I wanted things to kind of prove themselves before I jumped in. And the disadvantage to that was that I'd miss a lot of the moves. So today, let me show you the beginning trades here. I took a ton of trades on ANVS today, so I'm not going to go over every single one, but I'm going to show you some significant areas here. Now this thing went through a couple halts, but I started trading it in here and was doing all right. Let me show you my performance on the day so you can understand how everything went. Here is the performance. This is just so disappointing. This is a nasty performance. Here, look at this. Was able to do all right at the beginning, going up all the way up to 281. Made a nasty bad trade, took it to negative 12. Then I was able to recover from there and was feeling good at that point. got all the way to a 311, had a little hiccup, and then went back up to 344. And I was sitting really good on the day, and I just ended up burning it so bad with my last couple trades and just went so deep in the hole. So let's look at how I was trading this today. Once again, I made some progress here, and what happened in this area was I was looking at this move going down, and I thought to myself, this has already shown some strength. Let me try to figure out an area maybe where it wants to consolidate and then have possibly another run through. And I saw this candle want to push through right in here, right at this time frame at 10:13. I decided to hop in, go for the ride up, and the thing was I hopped in just a little too late here, and it ended up being a complete backwards reverse flush here, and got flushed out, and I had to cut the loss and took a big hit there. So I took out all my progress. I think that was at the point where I was up $281 and took it to -12. Okay, so that was my first blowout. And then from here, I'm thinking, okay, great. Now I gotta try to rebuild, you know, from scratch, back from zero. And so I was still watching these areas, and this thing blew through. So this one candle here completely ripped, and I felt like I actually walked out of the room for a minute, and when I came back, this is the spot that I just missed. So I felt some FOMO here, and I told myself, okay, well, look for a dip, and then we can ride this thing up through the, you know, next highs where it'll, you know, possibly test and possibly rip through its previous high of 64. That was the mentality there. So miss this rip, hop in here, and I go in, and I'm seeing that we got this boom, this really good strength, this buying going up, and I'm thinking, excellent, we're gonna rip through it, and I'll try to sell maybe right about just under 65 or just a little bit above 65, see how it performs. And it moved up just a little bit and just completely flushed again. And it was just one of those things. I was hitting my, you know, head against the wall. It's like, are you kidding me? I fell for this one, missed this opportunity, and now I'm sitting on the flush on this. So now I've got to dump it. And it was just absolute frustration throughout the day. So at that point in time, I go, you know what, let me hold it. Sure, it's gone into a halt down, which is not a good thing. Let me hold it. And I decided to hold it to see if we'd get any kind of pop up. And then I just decided, you know what, let me sell while we're up just a little bit, because this thing could just go right back down. I thought this whole area here where it kept retesting and all this trickiness was where it was just going to fade for the rest of the day, and I thought it would be done on that stock. And anyways, it curled up, and I ended up selling. So I think I got back to break even with that move there, and then it just goes sideways for a while, and then eventually just breaks up and blows up. Now we cross that 65 area, go right into a halt, and I don't even know if I was in at this point, but it's been such a crazy day. But this was just another big trick for me. It's like I'm thinking the stock is done, and now it's blowing past its high, so I'm thinking, okay, now there's momentum in it, and I better hop in for some opportunity. So a lot of it was, you know, one step forward and then two steps back. And anyways, we got into this area here, and I was able to trade all throughout this area here. And I was really impressed by this thing, because we went up, what was it? I think it was almost 260% on this thing, maybe possibly a little bit more than that. And so to me, that I got to thinking, this thing is quite impressive now. I mean, it's blown past a lot of the resistance, it's consolidated. Now it's just been moving up. And so it's this very touchy thing where all the way up, I'm just taking stabs at it and lots of scalp trading. And I'm getting in and making these nice profits, and I'm working my way up and feeling good about it. And with this stock, honestly, I think my mentality going through it was that I was worried about, just like I said, because the previous weeks, everything had been so choppy, and I think I carried that mentality with me through even today, and thinking I just need to take my scalp trades and get out. And while that was working for me, I was making progress. The problem was I'd have this nasty habit. As soon as I'd get into a move and it kind of wasn't going my way, I would hold longer than I should have. And anyways, moral of the story, this is what happened. Made my profits all the way up to here. So I was sitting up, I think, 281 bucks on the day. And at this point, I had to, I think it was right in here, which was another fake out area, but I was able to sell. I remember selling on this candle, sold, and glad I did because it ended up ripping down. But at that point, I actually had to leave, go do some work at a rental property, and come back. And luckily enough, it was a shorter trip, so I was back within an hour. And I thought to myself, hey, I just kept thinking about the stock and thinking about the opportunity of, you know, if it rips past this level, then this thing is going to be super crazy. And so I'm driving back home and get my computer back set up, and I see it, and we're right about in this area. I think it was about, let's call it 118, and I'm seeing it. I'm like, oh smokes, okay, this thing it's consolidated sideways, and we might have, you know, a possible flat top breakout here at some point. So let me hop in. So I decided, you know, at this point, once again, I'm up 280 bucks on the day and thinking this might have another opportunity. So I hop in, I forget where it was. I think it was around 91.65, kind of waiting for that next push up, and didn't happen. It falls a little bit, and I figure, hey, maybe an opportunity just to buy a smidge. So I bought a little bit right here on this dip, and we didn't get the correction I thought we were going to have, and it ends up falling, okay? Then we get this huge candle down. I'm still holding at that point going, okay, I'm down quite a bit here, about down 400, 500 bucks on this one. I'm still up to an 81 day, like confirmed on the day. Maybe I can just hold through and then try to sell on a pop for a bit of a loss. I'd be okay with that. And the thing is, we never got it. We got a little push up, but just not enough, and never broke this area right here, this whole resistance area of 84. And instead starts going down. And the thing was, it wasn't just a quick flash down, which I was anticipating. I figured if it doesn't hold this, then it's going to flash down hard. And, you know, I could buy down further down to buy just a big or a real quick dip at a really low price to try to average out and maybe sell on not as bad of a loss. The problem here was that it trickled down. It just bled so slow. So from here, just started going downhill. No flush, no extreme flushing, just this slow, gradual bleeding. And that was the big problem for me, because it wasn't anything dramatic enough for me to go, oh, I absolutely need to dump this. It was slow enough to where I was thinking to myself, hey, it's gone down so much that maybe we might get a little bit of a push up and I can sell. And we just never got it. It just kept fading and fading and fading. And I probably should have known that bleed off was possibly going to occur, in the fact that this went up so much today. You know, being up 260% is pretty ridiculous. But with that strength, that portion in the day, I just got to thinking that, hey, this thing, you know, could show potential to blow past it, and I could get out, you know, on a really good green day. Instead, this whole area here was just so bad that, like I said, that slow bleeding, I ended up pulling another bad move and adding into it a little bit more. So I ended ended up eventually having to dump the entire thing. And I want to find out where I did that. I want to say I had a couple more trades on it that I do want to show you. But what was it? 66. Yep. I guess it had to be nope. No, that wasn't it. Actually, yeah. 66 right there. So I ended up selling at 66 for a huge loss. I think it was a negative 800 at that point. So that I was sitting down negative 454 at that point. Okay. And here's where I pulled. So I could have walked away at that point on the day. And here's the mentality that comes in again into my head is that, okay, I'm down negative 454. What if I try really hard and do a ton of scalp trades and try to get in and just reduce that a bit? I mean, I'm so disappointed in myself for going from positive 300 down to this negative number here that at least maybe I could shave off. And that was a bad idea right there. Horrible idea. And I got in, I decided to hop in again. A few areas. But right here on this drop down, I figure, man, this thing has dropped down quite a bit. I think it's overdue for some sort of correction. And I just want to hop in, just to get a little bit there. And that was pure, at this point, it's pure greed. And so I hopped in, and of course, it just keeps bleeding, bleeding, and to a point where I realize I can't believe it, because I got in a big enough position to where, now I'm sitting just with the so bleeding, the low of the day, I'm sitting down another, what was it, 300, 400 bucks. And by that time, it's like the end of the market day, and I'm just shaking my head, and I'm like, can't believe you did that. So yeah, sometimes there's no words, but I hope you guys got something from this today, from this recap, because today, there's going to be days like this. It's just how it goes. And for me, I'm telling myself now I gotta learn to tighten up the discipline. And with stocks like this, you really ride the momentum, and at some point you gotta just stop trading, because you can easily get yourself in a bind. And I did that exactly today. And I mean, this thing going up 260% was quite impressive. And so I was just maybe riding too much of that enthusiasm and thinking that would continue, especially in this area with all this consolidation. But I mean, even earlier in the day, this stock showed to be pretty tricky, especially in this area, going from a rip up here to a complete flush here. And me thinking that this is where it's done for the day. It's just going to fade from here, and then it corrects and then blows up from there and blows past everything and has this crazy run up. So you get, that'll get you. It definitely got me all frazzled and plenty of FOMO, because you see that something has so much strength, and you just think that strength is going to continue for even when it does have areas of consolidation. But sometimes that's just not the case, and today was definitely one. I mean, look at this. We got a complete ride up and then a complete ride down. So very frustrating with today. Definitely should have been green. And that's really it for me today. So as you can tell, I'm still a little frazzled from it, but not the end of the world. That's the performance. That's the ugly truth. And here is the calendar. It's been not a great month for me, so I've got to turn it around, and I can't push it though. I gotta be able to just kind of go with the flow. I think that's maybe good advice for myself here is that I need to be able to see the opportunities and ride them, and then walk away when I'm, have made some progress for the day, and just be happy with that and not get caught up in the FOMO. And sometimes things keep running and you keep chasing them, and it's not a good scenario. So, not the end of the world, like I said. Down 1163 on the month here, but what do we got? And we got another week, so I don't know. I'm already over this month. I thought it would be a lot better for me, but it's been tricky. Last 2 weeks were slow, and trying to switch on that gear and adapt very quickly for days like today when momentum is hot and the stock is running, and to be able to switch gears and just get in that very focused state of trading, to be able to nail your trades perfectly, and then having the wisdom to step away too. It's very important. But I want to hear from you guys. I want to find out how you did today. Did you blow it up like I did, or did you remain strong and disciplined and put some really good green on the table today with the stock and walk away happy? I'd love to hear from you guys. And that's gonna do it for me today. Yeah, just a rough one for me, and that's how it goes sometimes. But I hope you guys can really appreciate these recaps, because it's not fun to do some of the big red recaps, and yet I still do them. So I want you guys to see that and maybe get something from it, and I hope you do. So if you enjoyed the channel, make sure to subscribe, and please give this a video a like. I think it'll help out other people to see my successes, but also big time on the failures. The failures, they do help, and it's just a matter of getting through them. So that's all I got. Take care. We'll see you guys on the next one.